A man woke up and suddenly heard the air raid siren blaring outside. He had just stepped onto the balcony when he saw a helicopter roar past and crash into a tall building not far away. Liam was frozen in terror at the sight. He cautiously poked his head out to look down and saw people fleeing in a blind panic. And what shocked him even more was that some of them had turned into beast-like creatures and started mauling others. Liam panicked instantly, having no idea what was going on. Just then, his next-door neighbor burst in, saying his roommate had suddenly gone crazy and begged Liam to let him stay. Before Liam could react, the neighbor walked into the bathroom. Liam spotted a huge gash on the back of the neighbor's neck and immediately realized something was terribly wrong, so he grabbed a sharp knife to defend himself. Right at that moment, an emergency news bulletin blared from the TV, stating that a zombie virus had broken out in the city, and anyone bitten or scratched by a zombie would be infected. The neighbor walked out of the bathroom just then, saw the news on TV, and hastily tried to explain he was fine, but his eyes had clearly turned bright red. Liam held the sharp knife and told him to get out, and the neighbor, who hadn't fully turned yet, finally left the apartment. Liam rushed over and locked the door at once. The next second, a pitiful scream for help came from outside. He looked through the peephole and saw the neighbor being mauled by zombies. Liam clapped a hand over his mouth in fright and collapsed to the floor. He tried calling his parents, but no one answered, and it dawned on him that he was on his own now. So he pushed the refrigerator in front of the door to keep the zombies out, then covered all the windows with paper to avoid being spotted by the zombies outside. That night, a strange noise suddenly came from the bathroom, and Liam had a bad feeling right away. He picked up a baseball bat and slowly approached, only to find a zombie had fallen through the ventilation duct. Liam hid in a panic as the zombie limped into the living room and looked around. Fortunately, it didn't spot him, and he took the chance to sneak up on it from behind. It was his first time fighting a zombie, and he was completely flustered. But once he regained his composure, he dragged the zombie's body to the balcony and threw it down, then blocked the bathroom's ventilation duct with a surfboard. A few days later, the water was cut off at home, and food was running out fast, pushing Liam to the brink of collapse. Just then, his phone finally got signal, and he picked it up in excitement to find a final voice message from his parents. When he heard a pitiful scream at the end of the message, he knew the worst had probably happened to them. That night, the power went out across the city, and Liam lost all hope of surviving. The next day, he tore the paper off the windows, put a noose around his neck, and decided to end his life. But just as he was about to kick the stool out from under him, he suddenly saw a woman on the balcony of the building across the way. He never thought there were other survivors, and Liam got so emotional that he accidentally kicked the stool away. Luckily, the rope wasn't strong enough, and he narrowly escaped death. He rushed to the windowsill at once to look, and moments later, the woman drew the curtains, but her appearance made Liam feel less alone. Early the next morning, Liam went to the balcony to wave at her, and she spotted him too. But the street below was full of zombies with an extremely keen sense of hearing, so they could only communicate by writing notes to each other. When he learned she had no water left, Liam threw a rope over to set up a makeshift zip line and sent her 2 bottles of water. Unfortunately, the bottles hit the railing with a clatter, attracting a zombie. This zombie was an incredible climber and quickly scaled the building toward her floor. To protect her, Liam threw a wine bottle at the zombie, which successfully drew its attention. The zombie jumped down and charged straight for Liam. At the same time, zombies were slamming into his front door non-stop. Liam told the woman to get back inside at once, then closed the balcony door and pressed his body against the refrigerator to hold it in place. Suddenly, all the noise outside stopped, but the danger wasn't over. The zombie was already on his balcony. It couldn't open the door, so it slammed its head hard against the tempered glass. Liam grabbed the baseball bat, ready to fight it to the death. The next second, the zombie crashed through the glass but passed out on the floor, and Liam immediately rushed out and delivered a fatal blow. That night, Liam found 2 walkie-talkies in his hiking bag, so he braved the night, sneaking past the hordes of zombies, and ventured down to the street just to throw one of the walkie-talkies to the woman in the building across the way, because he hadn't talked to another person in what felt like an eternity. Early the next morning, the woman's voice came through the walkie-talkie, and they talked for a long time, almost forgetting they were in the middle of the apocalypse. A few more days passed, and the food at home was almost gone. Liam climbed into the bathroom's ventilation duct, planning to go to other apartments to scavenge for supplies. The duct reeked, but it was far safer than going outside. He picked a random apartment, jumped down, and let his guard down only after confirming there were no zombies inside. He found plenty of food in the kitchen, enough to last him a long time, and he couldn't wait to tell the woman the good news. She worried about his safety, and Liam told her it was safe there, adding that he'd blocked the front door with a refrigerator. That's when the woman suddenly realized something was off. If no one was living in the apartment, why would the door be blocked with a refrigerator? Liam's heart sank, and when he turned around, an old man was suddenly standing right behind him. After confirming neither of them was infected, the old man didn't say much. He even offered Liam food and told him to take whatever he wanted from the cabinets. In a post-apocalyptic world where food was scarce, kindness like this was unheard of, but the naive Liam didn't realize that. Just as he was grabbing a bottle of wine, the old man suddenly attacked him from behind. Before long, Liam woke up from his unconscious state, his eyes fluttering open in a daze, and he saw a zombie right in front of him, nearly scaring him to death on the spot. The zombie was the old man's wife, and the old man loved her deeply. He couldn't bear to let her go even after she turned into a zombie, so he tied her to the bed and took care of her. The old man said his 2 pet dogs had already become his wife's food, and now that he'd met Liam, his wife could finally have something different to eat.